Hey everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It is the fan interactive show after Liverpool nil. Well, Crystal Palace nil, Liverpool nil. Yeah, a boring, pretty dire games. Two sides lacking in confidence, ultimately lacking in a bit of quality as well. And yeah, it'll be Crystal Palace really will be ruined there. Two massive missed chances really from Mateta and from Gay in particular. Gay's header and Mateta when he hit the bar. But obviously Liverpool hit the bar themselves. If not for Jordan Henderson getting in the way of Trent's free kick, things might have been a bit different. But ultimately, it was a bit of a drab affair between two sides who were lacking a bit of confidence. And 0-0, it probably isn't the end of the world. I mean, sorry, it's not the end of the world. It probably isn't the biggest surprise. Rather, if you're watching this right now and you're a YouTube member, use the YouTube members chat. You can get your thoughts up. If you're one of our Redmen Plus Club legends, you can use the Discord chat as well. And I'll start bringing up some of your comments throughout the show. And if you want to get involved on the Twitter, head on over to Twitter. Dan put a post out earlier asking you guys for thoughts, and I'll read some of those out as well as we go through the show. Right then, moving on. Veronica starting with a little bit of a positive news because, there isn't many of it. One positive is another clean sheet. It won't be easy against Wolves on Wednesday. I've supported Liverpool for 44 years, win, lose or draw, and I always will. It's not going to be easy against anyone at the moment, Veronica, because Liverpool aren't playing well enough to make things easy. You know, even the derby wasn't easy per se. And Everton were rubbish. The Newcastle game, we started really well, and it looked like it was going to be easy, and then it got harder. Real Madrid was the same, obviously. We saw that in midweek, so yeah. We'll always support them, of course we will, but it is becoming... Yeah, it's hard to go into any games with loads of confidence. Moving on then, let's have a little look. CZ Red, if you're going to speak English. Chris will say it's Z. Anyway, the key thing to remember is that teams can go in ebbs and flows in form and still got top floor. We just need a good run of wins. That's the thing, you're right. Like Liverpool have got themselves within 6 points of Spurs with a game in hand. It's not insurmountable, but the performances aren't exactly looking like... We don't exactly look like a team who can go on a string of wins. That's the only problem, isn't it, really? It's all well and good saying that. And they might well do it. They might well turn things around. You know, they might get a few more players back from injury. Maybe obviously without Nunes, like Diaz as well, no Canate, etc., Thiago. And they might do it, but still, you know, Crystal Palace are in they haven't won a game all calendar year. They don't really score goals. They didn't do that today. They're not a great side, and Liverpool really should have went and beat them. So it is disappointment, but yeah. But Jiff's going positive as well. Nice one, Jiff. 7 points in our last 3 league games with 3 clean sheets. The clean sheets thing I agree with, although to be fair, in all 3 of those games, all 3 of those sides have hit the woodwork, and it wasn't exactly like Liverpool were stellar defensively, but you'll take it where you can get it for sure. Stuart Armstrong wants to talk about Fabinho. Fabinho coming on and being lucky not to get sent off to fines this season. Why we decided to settle for a draw is beyond me. Yeah, Fabinho got a yellow card. He very rarely could have got another one. You're right there. I'll leave your comment up there for a second, actually, Stu. On the settling for... I'm not sure they settled for the draw, although I think Jürgen was more at a case was where he by the end, I think the Bacchetic for Gakpo sub suggested they were going to still try and push for the winner, but they were also not overdoing it, that they thought maybe a point's okay. Time will tell at the end of the season if they're right or not, won't they? Who knows? That point might be a vital point. It might be one where you thinking, oh my God, we could have got 2 points at Palace. We'd have got that top 4. We won't know until, the proof will be in the pudding. But I think it's, if he was desperate for 3 points and he was going all out attack, then if Gakpo did need to come off, whether he was tired or whatever, then it probably would have been Fabio Carvalho who came on, even Curtis Jones maybe, although Carvalho's the obvious one. So you are right, you are right to say Jürgen at the end, maybe that last sub in particular, maybe give a little clue that he didn't think the point was the worst result in the whole wide world. And then Jiff in the Discord again with a quite sober and forward, but it's hard to disagree with. We're a team who's at a level who will regularly not win these type of games, and that's the thing. We are at a level now. We're 7th in the league, and there's a reason why we're 7th in the league, because we're good on our day. The days haven't been that few, that frequent really. And when the chips are down, Liverpool aren't playing well enough to get 3 points in games like this. In years gone by, teams, Liverpool were trying to win the title, they'd have won that 1-0, they'd have found a way. They would have found a way to win. We've been to Crystal Palace before. We've been behind against them a couple of times, and we've come back and took leads against them. We had chances to do that, as Son of Barnes says. We did have some chances. We did, but we just didn't make the most of any of it really. Just things didn't quite go our way, or the final ball, or the final finish, or whatever, just didn't quite work out for us. And that's kind of, again, the story of the season. SBR with the super chat for 199, thank you. No Fabio, baffles me. Surely something's happened. I mean, mate, I don't think so, really. I just think he's that far down the pecking order. I think that's all it is. Elliott's above him in the pecking order. He was on the bench today because there's a few injuries, but I think in terms of attacking options, he's like 6th, 7th, 8th choice, and that's where he's at. Personally, if it was me making that the substitution, and if Gakpo did have to come off, and we obviously fitness, we don't know that, I think I would have went with Carvalho and stuck with that rather than moving Elliott over there. But maybe Jürgen just wasn't comfortable with having Elliott, Carvalho, Sal, all those lads on the pitch. Maybe I don't know, but I'm not sure if something's happened. But I just don't think he's obviously not in the manager's plans. The manager, he keeps saying he said it's a football decision. I just don't think he rates him, if truth be told, as highly as maybe other people do. On that, I'll go over to the Twitter and bring this tweet up. It is from Scott Brown. What has Carvalho done to not make a cameo in a game when we need to win? And when you think about when he last played, I think he scored. Elliott couldn't make a 5-yard pass. Surely Carvalho was worth a shot now. The interesting thing, I thought when Elliott came on, I thought he started the half really, really well. He was very influential. He was getting on the ball, or he played that ball over to Jota, where, again, just a little bit unlucky, really. I thought he was linking up well. And then it was almost like he got infected by the averageness of the rest of the team around him. A bit like watching The Last of Us recently, one of those, one of the fungi it's got into his skin, and he's gone from being this vibrant guy, and now he's just another one of the lads who just happened to be playing pretty average footy. It felt like he sunk to, I don't know, maybe we sunk down to his level or something. I don't know what it was. He sunk to our level maybe, but I thought he started well, and by the end of it, he was doing me head in. But on the Carvalho thing, like I say, is he going to make that much of a difference? Maybe, I don't know. It would have been the Suarez made. I don't think I'd have brought Bacheta on. If I was bringing Bacheta on, it would have been for Henderson. But he's obviously thought Gakpo's had to come off for whatever reason. I'll be honest, I don't think Jürgen's settling for a point, but I think it was him saying, well, we'll still try and win this, but we are also going to try and be a bit more secure. And listen, Bacheta had a couple of challenges in his own half where, I think there was one right near the end where Elise he literally done the same thing to Jordan Henderson, got round him and got fouled for a free kick, and Bacheta just knocked it out of play. So there was a couple of moments where he showed the value of having him on the pitch. But I'm a bit of a gambler. I think I too would have went for going for Carvalho. Right then, Dikioi Red says, Elliott looked bright when he came on, but he was pushing too hard by the end, in my opinion. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he was trying a little bit too hard. In the end, he was just another one who just couldn't put a couple of 5-yard passes together. And that was symptomatic of Liverpool's game, really, if truth be told. The Joe Leia family says, the player ratings, is everyone going to be your mess? And I'll be going over to the board later. We have got 3 categories over on the board. We've got boss, sounds, and your mess. And I'll put each Liverpool player in one of those 3 categories. I don't think we're going to have many bosses, to be honest with you, truth be told. There might be a lot down the other 2. Right then, let's move on. Hayden in the YouTube. A draw is better than a loss at the end of the day. It's progress after the string of poor performances. We can take positives today, but we need to bolster the squad in the summer 100%. The positives are hard, to be honest with you. There's no one who really stands out. I thought we had more positives from the Newcastle game and the Everton game than we did from this one, and we won those and drew this one. That's just how things go sometimes. I don't think there were that many positives, to be honest with you. I think everyone was okay. Like, if you're doing the old player ratings with a number, there'd be lots of 5, 6s, just average, a little bit below average. I think there was a couple of shocking performances from a couple of guys, and they'll definitely end up in the UMSM. But listen, 7 points from 3 league games isn't the end of the world in a top 4 race. But in the context of who you're playing and who Crystal Palace, that kind of stuff, it isn't great, ideally. Sort of Barnes, I think you need a new category for rank. Well, that's your messing. That's just, I couldn't say rank. I don't think I've ever heard a scout to say rank. Your messing is essentially the same thing. Let's see. I love Masturbator's name on the Discord because it makes me say masturbator on the internet, which is fair play to you, my friend. Palace, if they had anything about them, would have won, but they didn't, and that's why that's why they are looking over their shoulders. The result isn't that bad because a draw away and a clean sheet. It's the performance not being great while we still have ground to catch, and that's the thing. That's where I'm at really. The mistake, Liverpool were in complete control of the game in the first half, but they nearly shot themselves in the foot a couple of times. Matip, Trent, stinkers really. And a better side, like for example, Real Madrid, just do they will capitalise and they will punish you. We are quite lucky that Crystal Palace just don't really score goals. They haven't got a goal scoring outlet. They've got some nice attacking players. Olise's good, Eze's good, but they haven't got that clinical striker. Mateta certainly isn't that. But on another day, like we were doing punished, Gay should have punished us when he was unmarked at a set play. So that's the worry really, is that even when we're controlling games and we're in control, we're knocking the ball about, loads of possession, not really creating too much, we're not looking, all of a sudden it's like, bang, switch off rather, and you've nearly shit the bed and you should be 1-0 down. And that happened a couple of times, and that's a worry. A better side than Crystal Palace, side with a better attacking threat, would have punished us a little bit more, in them, especially the Trent one in particular, which is just shocking really, where he leaves the ball and nicks it off him. That's the concern for me really still. The lackadaisical type of defending or performance in general isn't great. It isn't ideal either. Excuse me. Moving on. Jiff again. If we can actually keep that run to 7 points for 3 games, then we'll have a chance at top 4. I just worry that we're going to revert back to the Brighton and Wolves performances again. Haha. And that's the thing. If one of those goals goes in, Jiff, maybe it does go that way. I don't think we've been as that bad, because they were 2 of the worst performances we've ever seen for Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. Getting a couple of players back perhaps has meant that we're not going to be that bad again. But I see the point. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, we're only 6 points off. We need to just go on a run," and it's hard. It's just hard to put your confidence in these lads going on that run. The only reason you do it is because of the badge on the shirt, the manager who they've got, and what we've seen some of these players do before. But in terms of what we've seen from this season, there's nothing about the performances really that makes me think that, they're definitely going to be okay to go and get themselves on that run, get themselves back in contention. They'll have to just prove it to themselves. Because at the moment it's not looking great. Daniel Carter on the Twitter. How did Henderson see it through the entire game? He needs dropping for a couple of games. His legs have well and truly gone. It wasn't Jordan. Yeah, I'm trying to just think of Henderson's performance, really. It was weird, because I said this in the first half. The midfield wasn't that big a problem, because neither side were doing much in midfield. It felt like we were in their final third a lot quite easily, and that's where it was breaking down. I think the reason Jordan stays on is obviously some of his subs were pre-planned. He was always going to take Jota off. We knew that one. It felt like Firmino was always going to come on. The Trent one was a bit of a surprise, but I think Trent was worse than Henderson, if truth be told. I think Trent might have been our worst player, so I wasn't shocked when he got dragged off. And then obviously the next subs, he's got options to make. When he went Gakpo off for Bajcetic, that's the one where I would personally have taken Henderson off and gone for a little bit more. But again, I don't know how Gakpo is in terms of, maybe he had to come off. There was still another sub he could have used, so he could have brought Bajcetic and Carvalho on for Gakpo maybe, and for Henderson. But I don't think Jordan had a particularly good second half. And like I say, I think the legs thing, he got absolutely roasted by Elise, and in the end that's a foul him. So, and also Jordan's biggest contribution to that game, unfortunately, was blocking a free kick that looked like it was going to go in. It just so happened that it was ours. Which, not ideal, is it? That indeed. You don't really want to be doing too much like that one, because, it looked like Liverpool had the excuse me, the perfect set piece lined out, and then the captain got in the way of it. Michael Owens, not to be confused by Michael Owen. Can we just release Naby Keita? There's absolutely 0 point in him hanging around and stinking the gaff out. One of the laziest and unprofessional performances I've ever seen. He knows he's leaving and he doesn't care. Just sends him and drops Trent while we are at it. Mikey's holding no punches there. I think Trent was bad, and I think Keita was bad as well. I think they were the 2 worst players. Actually, some of those weren't great, but I thought they were the worst two players. He probably could have been sent off. Another ref might have sent him off because he's on a yellow card and he makes a couple more challenges. Where again, I don't think the bookings, but the totting up process might have went against them a little bit. But we were saying before the game, Jürgen's obviously decided he needed to make changes in midfield. He can't just keep playing Bajcetic game after game after game. He's obviously trying to look after Fabinho and get him back because he's had probably the worst season of his career. I would have played Elliott, I think, again. But even his second half, like I say, he started well and wasn't great. I didn't think Keita played well at all. I think he was poor. I think he was really, really poor. Rachel Todd says Naby should go. Naby is going to go in the summer. He's going to go for nothing. Liverpool are going to try and get what they can out of him in terms of performances between now and then. But yeah, he's not going to be a Liverpool player next season. And I don't think that's going to be. No, I don't think many people are going to be crying over that one. Jiff says we should be starting Bajcetic. We might just have to start Bajcetic for most of the games. And that's the thing, Jiff, you're absolutely right. In terms of performance level and ability and all at the moment and confidence, he should be in Liverpool's best team. But he's a kid and he hasn't done this before. And you do have to look after him. Liverpool have got obviously they play Newcastle, Madrid, Palace, Wolves, Man United. He's looking after them. He'll probably play against Wolves and Man United now after having that hour off. But that's the thing, that we've got ourselves into a situation. Let me fix that. Where we're relying on a kid, and it shouldn't be him. There should be others. There should be other players in the squad stepping up and having the ability to do so. We shouldn't have got in terms of the transfer market. They should have signed a midfielder in the summer and definitely in January, and they chose not to, or whatever reason. So the fact that we're relying on Bajcetic and he isn't our best team and we feel lost without him, that's a reflection of, a couple of the players, like I say, the levels of performances of some of them. Obviously, the injury to Thiago throw in that mix as well. And also, like I say, the investment or lack of in the summer, it really is starting to bite a little bit. Jake with the super chat. I'm thinking back to where we were in 2018 to 2020 and last year. It makes this season feel even worse. It's a crime we've let the squad get to where it's at. It was interesting that one, Jake, because I'll leave that up actually for a while. Jürgen said that on the he talked about it in his pre-match press conference, and he went, because we got to so many games and so many finals, that was one of the reasons why the recruitment kind of took a back step. And also, he said he had an idea that we were going to have some problems this year, and that's why he signed the contract, because he wanted to stick around to get through them. But then he went on to say if it wasn't for the injuries, the problems wouldn't be as much. So he's even admitted, I think basically Jürgen was saying he didn't think we were going to win the league this year. And he foresaw problems coming, and then the injuries came and made those problems even worse. So you're right, the squad, he basically said all that, going to so many games at the end of last season and getting so close kind of scuppered the transfer plans, which I don't really understand. I don't really know what to say. Obviously, maybe he was thinking that in order to bring players in, he had to sell players, not only for finances, but also just for room in the squad. Liverpool got a very full squad. And maybe, I think his point was, we couldn't say to those players, go and sort yourselves out a move at the end of the season, because he wanted them trying to win everything. We have 3 finals, we had a Premier League run that went right down to the final minutes. I think that was his point, that we couldn't really get lads out and in the door because of that. But he went on to say, he knows we've got to be active in the summer. And we definitely do. We just absolutely do. Keita is going to go. Oxlade-Chamberlain's going to go. Milner might go. Firmino, as it stands, is going. Although there's a chance he stays around. I think Joel Matip's going to be sold. So they're probably going to have to get a centre-half in as well. So there's big work to be done. You're absolutely right. We're going to have to just basically get in and bear this season. Hopefully we can scrape fourth like we did in the COVID season. And that's kind of where we are. It feels like that at the moment. AC... Why can't we try Arthur Melo now? Arthur played for the under-21s today, actually. On his road back to fitness, he played for Liverpool under-21s against Leicester under-21. So he might not be miles away from the squad fitness in the future. Maybe, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the levels of him. He hasn't played footy properly for years. He was nowhere near it at Juventus. He's played like 5 minutes in a lost Champions League game in Napoli for us. But he's certainly an option. We'll see how that one all pans out. Son of Barnes on Trent. I think that constant change of right centre-back is affecting Trent. He has a new defender every game. Yeah, maybe, but I think you're being kind, because it doesn't matter who's playing centre-half. If you get in front of your man and then decide just not to kick the ball, That's probably on you. And the back pass, the sideways pass he played in the first half as well earlier on, that's criminal. He didn't even look for where the man was. He just passed it straight to the striker. And again, and I mean this with all due respect to say that, but it's not going to sound respectful but to Mateta. But if he was any good, if he wasn't a bit crap, he had 2 gifted goals for him there. Literally on a plate goals for him. It just so happens he's probably a bit shit, and that's why he wasn't able to convert them. So that's where we're at with that one. So I maybe it's affecting Trent, but in the individual errors thing, I don't think that's got anything to do with it, if truth be told. I think it's basically individual errors and stuff like that is really hurting us. Craig McKeown on the Twitter says, that was absolutely woeful from start to finish. See, I don't think the start was woeful. I think Liverpool dominated the game and we were in control of the game. It was once the little sloppy errors came about. Like I say, they got some pretty decent chances and just didn't quite take them. We did at the post, so we hit the bar. It would have been a delicious goal from Salah. It felt like things were but at times just a little bit off it up front as well. Maybe a few bad first touches or whatever. I think woeful's at the end of it, you're thinking, oh my God, it was just a bit of a dreadful performance. But there were some positives, a little bit, but nothing to write home about. You know what I mean? It wasn't like shit in the bed. I think woeful was Brighton and Wolves. This was just pretty meh. If that makes sense, maybe that's what it was. I don't quite know. Let's see, Evan or Even again on Twitter. The epitome of a boring 0-0. Thank God we didn't concede because it felt like it was coming. The summer can't come soon enough because the midfield is legged. We do need a new midfield, 100%. We need a new midfield. There's no doubt about it. We need a new midfield. When you start Keita, Henderson, Milner in 2023, that shows something's not working out, isn't it? That shouldn't be the case. I actually thought Milner did okay-ish. Done well at right back as well, actually okay-ish. But yeah, there's a lot lacking, and we do need an overhaul in midfield. You're absolutely right, and that hopefully is going to come this summer. We know who they want. We know they want Nunez. We know they want Bellingham. They're interested in Mason Mount. They're going to have to sign a centre half as well as in this mix probably as well. So yeah, there is work to be done. Let's have a little look who else we've got in here. Who's this? Show me the Mane. Oh, nice Twitter handle. Klopp played for a draw in the end, which was shocking. See, I think the play for a draw. I'm not sure. I think he played it safe. He might think it was a good result, and again, time will tell. Right here, right now, it doesn't feel like it, but maybe he might get to the end of the season and go, right, we've been dreadful away from home, absolutely fucking awful away from home. We'll take the points here and we'll move on to Wolves and beat them at home, and then try and beat Man United, which again looks like a tall order now. And that was his thinking. And before you know it, he's hoping that he's got 4 wins and a draw in his 5 Premier League games, and that'll get you top 4, that type of form. But yeah, I didn't like that it was when Gakpo went off, it was Bajcetic who came on. I'll be honest with you. I thought that, again, I would rather have Henderson come off. If Bajcetic was going to come on, if he wanted to add a bit more legs in midfield, that's fine. But if Gakpo maybe was feeling it and had to come off for whatever reason, I personally would have liked it to have been a more attacking player, in which case that would have been Fabio Carvalho. So I don't think he settled for a draw. I don't think he did that, but I think he made sure we didn't lose. He didn't gamble to win. I don't think he settled for a draw. I think he's gone, right, we don't lose and we'll try and win. It's not like Liverpool shut up shop. Liverpool weren't like trying, 2 banks of 4 and not trying to get forward. They still were. But I think Jürgen just didn't want to press the gamble button. I'm going to go over to the board very, very shortly, by the way, and start ranking some of these players before I do. Got a super chat from Robin. Excuse me, with the 50 krona. Says, it feels like we did not play the best team we could put out tonight. Too much overthinking in terms of squad management. I mean, we don't know that, to be fair, Robin. How do we know who is and isn't right, who's fit, who needs a rest, who doesn't? We know Darwin's injured, so we had to go. Joe Gomez is injured, so we had to go. So there's 2 changes straight away. But Chetters, like I said before, they can't just keep playing him every game. it has to be a fitness reason. I don't think Jürgen makes those changes. Like, you know, his medical team, and listen, the medical team is another issue itself with how many injuries we've got. But I don't think, I think he would have liked to have chose to keep those players, but the advice he's been given maybe perhaps is what it is. But yeah, how are you meant to? We can't. I think you're just second guessing things when you start talking about like that kind of stuff. Scott, I fell asleep between 48 and 82, and I think it was for the better. You didn't miss, unfortunately, you didn't miss too much, did you? You didn't miss too much, Scott. Right, I'm going to make my way over to the board and start ranking these lads now. That could be really, really interesting. So yeah, there's me. I'm going to make my way over there right now. Let's go. That isn't a very flat and camera angle. That one. Right then, let's go over to the board. I'll go this way. Woo! Oh, I've kicked the light over. It's fine. We move. We carry on. Right then, I'm here at the board. Hello, everyone. So yeah, the point of this show, give everyone a rating. Dead simple. Were they boss, were they sound, or you're messing? Basically, they were a bit rubbish. Let me know your thoughts. The YouTube, Aaron's going to open the YouTube chat up so everyone can use it as well. So thanks to all our members. Thanks for your comments in that part of the show. Now we're going to open up to everybody else. Let's start going then. I'll go with Alisson Becker. First of all, he was sound, wasn't he? Didn't have a lot to do. Mopped up a couple of times for his mates, where they they played short back passes or whatever. Caught a few, punched a few. Didn't have to make too much saves really. If truth be told, they didn't have a lot to do there in terms of things. So I'm going to go sound for him. Valerie, I said just call everyone all crap, and I've done with it. Sound as usual, says Louis. For Alisson, yeah, I think it was. Drop all cards on the floor by Alisson, says Mega Smitty as well. Right then, yeah. Alisson was sound today, says Hayden. No mistakes, thankfully. Yeah, he was better with the ball at his feet, wasn't he? Right then, moving on. Andrew Robertson, let me know your thoughts on Andy Robertson, as Michael makes a really good point about Alisson. He didn't seem rattled after Tuesday, at least, yeah. He doesn't look like a guy who gets too rattled, to be honest with you. What did you guys think of Andy Robbo then? Let me know your thoughts. I thought defensively he was decent. I think he did a good job defensively. There wasn't much coming down that left-hand side, in truth be told. Attacking-wise, okay. Hayden says Robbo sound today. Riley says sound, no mistakes. And Callum says sounds as well. Yeah, I'll go Robbo can be sound. Trent Alexander-Arnold, let me know your thoughts on Trent then. I've got a rough idea where I'm going to go, as we'll get a few more comments on Robertson. Michael, he was sound. He gave us all some good stuff going forwards. Noah says he was sound as well. Yeah, Andy Robbo. Riz says I put him on the borderline of sound. Andy Robbo, attacking-wise, he did nothing. So you'd have him a little bit lower. Yeah, I can get him a little bit lower than that. That's fair enough. I think the right one. Truck Trent in the bin. All right, Trent. Yeah, that is from Riz. Yeah, get Trent in the bin. Who else is on there? Lewis. You're messing, and that's generous. Yeah, sorry, Trent. I love you, but I'm with the guys there. Not great. Just the individual mistakes, really. We could have conceded two really properly bad goals because of it. I thought at times his use of the ball was actually quite decent. There was a couple of link-ups on the right-hand side where he looked all right. But listen, if Mateta's any good, like I said, it's one of those performances where someone has properly shit the bed performances. And that isn't because he got lucky that the lad wasn't that good. That's all it was. Right then, moving on. Metro Jackson says, if anything, it was Matip who was the issue. Well, let's talk about Matip. Riley makes a good point on Trent as well. He could have had a goal, but he could have given two away. Yeah, listen, if Jordan Henderson doesn't go get in the way of the free kick, Trent's the match winner, and he might be borderline, because I still wouldn't forgive him. But listen, Trent, he did get in the way, so them's the breaks. So Trent's messing. Right, Joel Matip. Let's have a little look what you guys think. I don't think Matip had a great game. Interesting point here from Millis, who says, Matip, between you messing and sound, sorry, this is from Hayden, he wasn't great today. And then it was Mattis who says, Matip looked like he couldn't concentrate. He did look like at times, like he switched off a little bit too easy, wasn't it? Rachel says you're messing. Nish, you're messing. Dickie, you're messing. Callum, you're messing. He was like Bambi on ice. And Michael, messing. Too many clunky moments, yeah. I would agree with that. Matip, you're messing. Right, then moving on. Who have we got? James Milner. See, I think now, a lot of people don't like James Milner and the idea of James Milner. And I get it, because Liverpool's midfield in 2023 shouldn't have James Milner and Jordan Henderson in it. That just shouldn't be happening. We found ourselves in this through a lack of investments. They should have bought midfielders, injuries, having to look after guys with rotation and all that kind of stuff. Before we know it, Milner and Hendo and Keita starting the game in the Premier League, which is not from ideal. He played all 90 minutes. I thought he was sound, to be honest with you. There's a guy called Sound who says Milner was sound, which is nice. Rachel says he was sound. Andrew, Milner was sound, but he says a lot about our current situation. That's kind of where I'm at with it, to be honest with you, mate. He done better at right back. I think he was sound. I'm going to go James Milner was sound. I actually thought he'd done a good defensively well at right back. Right then, moving on. Jordan Henderson. I forgot to put... sorry, Virgil van Dijk. I forgot to move the centre half. I thought Van Dijk was sound as well, to be honest with you. I don't think there's too much to talk about Van Dijk, really. I think he did what he had to do pretty well. I don't think there was too many complaints about Virgil. So Virgil was sound. He was all right. Henderson. Right then, let me know your guys' thoughts on the captain then. Because, like I say, I thought he started the game well. And got worse as it went on. My thought on Jordan Henderson is to have him like hovering over the two. A little bit of mixing up. Let's have a little look at what you guys think about it. Dickie Oy Red says, I'd just put Henderson on your messing. Nish is kind of with me a little bit between sound and your messing, because he regressed as the game went on. He didn't play too bad, says Hayden. But he was passing backwards too much, says sound. See, other people disagree, because look at this one. Hendo, you're messing, says Kev. Tony says, is there anything below your messing? Yeah, the floor, maybe. I don't know. He did block a goal for us, which wasn't ideal. No way he should be hovering over the two. He sideways passes in all games, says Riz as well. Yeah, I think there's a lot of... I don't know. He was better than Fab in the 6, says Donut. I'm going to put him on the borderline, just touching your sound, but quite a bit of your messing as well, is where I'm going to go for Jordan. He wasn't, it wasn't great. Slightly lower. Oh, took my line with me. Just touching it. Just touching the line. Yeah, let's put him there. Just touching the line, but yeah, it's not great. Who's next then? Who haven't I got? I need Naby Keita. I'm not even going to ask you for help on Naby Keita. You're messing. He was worse. He was fucking crap as well. Crap. Rubbish. Absolute bollocks. Right then, we've got my front three. I've got Gakpo, I've got Salah, and I don't know where my Jota one is. Have I lost Jota? Maybe he's over here. Here he is. Diogo was with the subs for some reason. Right then, let's start with Jota. He still looks a bit rusty, doesn't he? I think that the Diogo Jota, the fit and fire and fully going. There's one late in the second half and the ball's fired into him and a touch and finish and he would have scored it and his touch let him down. He was just like, he felt like he was half a yard just off at times. Let's have a little look what you think. Danielle says, I'd just say he was sound for Jota. Riley says the sound. Let's have a little look as well. Jota was between your messing and sound, says Hayden. I'm just happy he got some minutes in there. Those minutes will be vital for sure. Jota was sound. He looked better than he did in his cameos. I think sound, but just touching your messing. Just a little bit less sound than these lads. So if I move these lads up a little bit, because I think they were sound. Jota was just like sound, but just a little bit towards you messing. On that little borderline as it is. Right then, moving on to Cody Gakpo. It's hard, really, looking back. Let me go what you guys think about Gakpo's performance. He didn't really stand out, did he? He didn't have like that major contribution. He got a couple of fouls. I'd love to let. I'm thinking of putting him sound, just probably the same as Jota. Oh, look at that. Just on cue. Jota was sound. He should have done better with a couple of chances, says Tony. And then I said I'd put Gakpo like Jota. And then Philip says the same, give him the same rating as Jota. He was low sound, says Nish. Borderline, says Riley. Yeah. They're same. I think we're just... Right then, what did we think of Mohamed Salah's performance in general? I thought it's the bar, don't he? He's so unlucky again. Could have been the match winner. I'm thinking, if truth be told, Salah, yeah, just on the same really. Maybe I actually think he's a little bit better than Gakpo. So I'm going to put Salah there, and I think you guys, yeah. Who's in there? Jimbo, Dicky, Ems, and Nish. Oh, sorry, Nish has no idea, he says. But yeah, most of you guys saying, yeah, sound pretty good. Right then, I've got the subs, but this is hard because a lot of them didn't play that much. Elliot, I'll go Elliot because he came on at half time. I thought when Elliot started the game, I put him there, I thought he was really good, really lively, and he'd have been somewhere in this range at the start, and then he got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and then so he ends up like kind of here-ish, I think. He slowly morphed into Naby. I said that before. It felt like he was really, really good, and then he got surrounded by all the crap, and like they kind of like infected them with how rubbish they were all going to be. And in the end, he was pretty poor. So I think I'm going to put him just similar, just sound but touching you messing, because I thought he started really well, and then by the end of it, he just kept giving the ball away far too easily. In fact, I'm going to lower him down a bit more. I'm going to borderline him. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to borderline him because how loose he was with the ball. Callum says the same. Callum would have put him in your messing for how good for how often he gave the ball away, too many loose passes. And to be honest, the other three, but I didn't really see much from them, to be honest with you. So shall we just... I'll leave them off. Fuck it. I don't need to put them on the board because they didn't have to do it anyway. I'll be standing here messing about. Right, I'm going to go back over there and read some more of your comments out. So let's make our way over. Back we go, back we go. Hello, hello. Nice to see ya. Nice to see ya. There's me in my shorts. Yeah, I'm wearing shorts. And I am back. Right then, let's have a little look what else is going on the old... Do I dare jump into the Twitter? Yeah, I'm going to jump into the Twitter for my sins. Kenny, snooze fest, and the midfield was dreadful again. Yeah, it was a bit of a snooze fest. See, the dreadful, I don't think dreadful, all of them. I think Keita was pretty dreadful. I think Henderson wasn't great. I thought Milner was okay. I thought Elliott, when he came on there, was ish. I thought Fabinho was ish. I don't think the midfield was the problem per se in terms of like the goal scoring opportunities. I think we just didn't create enough of them. And again, that is on the midfield a little bit. But when you put that midfield out, what are you expecting? What are you expecting? What are you expecting? Right, let's have a little look then, Philip. Klopp's choice of sub was tragic. Why Bacchetis for Gakpo when we were needing a goal? Carvalho not exist. I'd have done the same. I'd have put Gakpo. I would have took Carvalho on. But like I said, I think Jaeger might maybe think it was a better point than we maybe do at the time. Let's have a little look, Mr. Jamgo. I think it's time someone finds John W. Emery, pick him up, shakes him, and prays that a lot of money falls out. The summer needs sorted, doesn't it? Now that he said he's not selling, that's got to be followed by, well, there's money to come in for the team. Because if there's not, yeah, something's not right. Something is not right, indeed. Right then, let's have a little look. Harry Styles, I don't think it's the right Harry Styles. Those scores are way too generous for how terrible we were. Sound is a 5, 6 out of 7. No threat, no link up, sloppy passing. So yeah, sound's in the middle of the road. Yeah, okay. That's why I done it. Yeah, and then your Messing's a bit of a poor rating, but we got rid of the numbers because they were too arbitrary and they were causing loads of fights. So you can, whatever you think sound is, that's what sound is, and whatever you think the others are, it's on you. Not just you, Harry, but everyone in particular. It's exactly what you. I'm not talking to anyone else watching this. Just you, my friend who's watching this right now and hears my voice. Sound is what you think sound is. Right then, Lewis. The players look completely unbothered. If they can't pull their fingers out after Madrid, then I'm really worried for the rest of the season. See, I'm not sure they didn't look bothered. I'm just not sure they were just that much capable of that much more, to be honest with you, which might be worse. I'm not really questioning the commitment of too many of them, if truth be told. It's more a legs thing and maybe a bit of quality and maybe a bit of confidence. But yeah, that basically. I'm not sure anyone just threw the towel in, but I'm not exactly sure the lads are brimming with confidence either. Right then, I'm going to start wrapping up the show. Before I do, want to let you guys know what's a very special offer. In a moment on Redmen Plus, Dan Club will be sat in here. Aaron, can I go to that camera? Dan Club will be here. There, look, this space will be filled with Dan. And this space over here, come back to me. This will be filled with Steve. That's what that'll happen. They were doing the instant match reaction on redmenplus.com. If you want to watch or listen to it completely free, we'll give you it for free for a month if you've not joined up already. Use the code IMR. Go to redmenplus.com, sign up as a monthly club captain, and use the code IMR. Very simple. It's just 3 capital letters on the payment screen. You'll get that show and all of our entire content for a month for nothing. So come and try it out. Come and get involved in the post-match stuff straight away. Like I said, it's 11:15 at night in the UK. What else are you going to do? Go to bed. Don't worry about going to bed just yet. Come and listen to Dan and Steve. You'll also get Chloe's reaction live from Sellers Park on the In the Ground podcast. And then, like I say, for the rest of the month, you'll get all the amazing content that we're going to be on offer each and every week, including Redmen Uncensored, the Bias Football podcast. We've got Expert Insight, Journo Insight, Oppo Preview, loads and loads of shows. It usually costs you £5 a month, which in itself is a bargain, really. We're probably giving it away for too cheap. Use code IMR and you'll get it for nothing. Come and try it. And if you don't like it, cancel it and jib it off and you don't have to do it again. And if you do like it, well, I hope you do like it and I hope you stay. And if you do dib it off and you do cancel, you'll get a little feedback form and you can tell us exactly why you didn't stay around. But hopefully, I think you will like it and hopefully some of you will enjoy it. So yeah, redmenplus.com, use code IMR and that's it from me. I'm going to go. If you're watching this after the fact, give the video a thumb. In fact, do it now. Give the video a like for me. See you all soon. Take care, everyone. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that show. I'm sure you did. If you want even more amazing Redmen content in your ears or in your eyes, come and join us over on redmenplus.com. We've got absolutely amazing interviews, features, documentaries, and even more of the shows like you've just watched. So yeah, head on over to redmenplus.com and become a Redmen Plus club captain or club legend. I promise you won't regret it.